Most traffic stops last just a few minutes, but some change lives forever. Tonight on Story Time, these are real police stops, reconstructed from true events, where one wrong move, one hidden detail, or one unexpected discovery turned an ordinary night into something terrifying. If you enjoy true stories that feel too real to ignore, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay until the end.
I wasn't speeding. That's the part that still messes with my head. It was almost 1:30 a.m. when the red and blue lights exploded behind me on a quiet stretch of road. I pulled over immediately, hands on the wheel like you're supposed to. The officer approached slowly, one hand resting near his holster. License and registration. I handed them over, calm but nervous. He walked back to his cruiser. 5 minutes passed, then 10. When he returned, his voice had changed. Step out of the vehicle. My heart dropped. He said my license was flagged. Wanted individual, same name, same birthday, different state. I tried explaining, but he wasn't listening anymore. Backup arrived. Suddenly I was surrounded by flashing lights, radios crackling, commands being shouted. I was handcuffed on the side of the road while passing cars slowed down to stare. One officer whispered, "The guy we're looking for assaulted a cop." I felt sick. It took nearly 40 minutes to confirm I wasn't the person they wanted. When the cuffs came off, no one apologized. They just said, "You're free to go." I sat in my car shaking, realizing how close I came to something much worse, all because of a name that wasn't really mine.
I always record when I get pulled over. Always. The officer noticed immediately. "Why are you filming?" he asked. "For my protection," I replied. That's when the mood shifted. He told me to turn it off, said it made him uncomfortable. I refused politely. He stepped back, hand on his radio. Backup came fast. Suddenly, I was being questioned about things that didn't make sense, where I was going, why I was nervous, why I had an air freshener hanging from my mirror. He said it was probable cause. They searched my car, found nothing. But the stop lasted over an hour. Every minute felt like pressure, like they wanted me to mess up, to say the wrong thing. When I was finally released, one officer leaned in and said quietly, "Next time, just turn the camera off." I didn't sleep that night. The footage went viral weeks later.
The car wasn't mine. I borrowed it from a coworker. Quick favor, quick trip. I got pulled over for a broken taillight. Routine stop. Until the officer asked, "Is there anything in the vehicle I should know about?" I said no, because I truly didn't know. When he opened the trunk, his face went blank. He called for backup immediately. Inside was a duffel bag. Inside that, items I had never seen before. Tools, gloves, things that made them think I was involved in something criminal. I tried explaining. My voice cracked. They didn't care. I was detained while they ran VINs, plates, names. Turned out the car had been connected to an investigation before I ever borrowed it. I was released hours later. I never spoke to that coworker again, and I never borrow cars anymore.
I knew I wasn't speeding. I had cruise control on, 10 under the limit, just trying to get home after a long shift. That's why the flashing red and blue lights behind me didn't make sense. I pulled over immediately. Engine off, window down, hands on the steering wheel, every rule you're taught to follow. The officer approached slowly. His flashlight scanned my back seat, then my face. License and registration. I handed them over. He glanced at my ID longer than usual, then walked back to his cruiser. 5 minutes passed, then 10. When he came back, his posture had changed. Step out of the vehicle. My stomach dropped. He didn't explain why, just repeated the command. As soon as my feet hit the pavement, another squad car pulled up behind his, then another. I heard my name over the radio. That's when I realized something was wrong. They told me my name and birth date matched a suspect wanted out of another state. Armed robbery, assault on an officer. My knees felt weak as they handcuffed me on the side of the road. I kept saying, "That's not me. I've never even been to that state." They didn't answer. Cars slowed as they passed. I could feel eyes on me. I had done nothing wrong, yet I was standing there in cuffs under flashing lights like a criminal. It took 45 minutes to confirm I wasn't the suspect. When they finally uncuffed me, the officer simply said, "You're free to go." No apology, no explanation. I sat in my car afterward, shaking, realizing how close I came to something that could have gone very differently, all because my name belonged to someone else.
I record every police stop, not because I expect trouble, but because I don't trust memory under stress. The officer noticed immediately. "Why are you recording?" he asked. "For my safety," I replied calmly. The air changed instantly. He asked me to turn it off. I declined. That's when backup was called. Suddenly, I was being questioned about things that didn't matter. Where I was going, why I looked nervous, why my phone was mounted on the dashboard. The stop stretched on. 30 minutes, 45. They searched my car, found nothing. Still, they kept me there. One officer leaned in and whispered, "You'd make this easier if you just turned that off." I didn't. Weeks later, the footage went online. People argued in the comments about who was right, but I already knew one thing for sure. The stop wasn't about a traffic violation anymore. It was about control.
It was supposed to be a warning. That's what he said. Then he asked me to step out. Then another officer arrived. Then another. No explanation, no ticket, just escalation. By the time it was over, my heart was racing, my hands were shaking, and I understood something I never had before. How quickly a simple stop can spiral into something terrifying. The officer didn't say I was speeding. He didn't say I ran a light. He just said, "You fit the description." That was the first thing he said after asking for my license. It was just after midnight, the streets mostly empty, the kind of quiet that settles in when businesses are closed and only streetlights keep watch. I was driving home from a late shift, mentally replaying my day, when the red and blue lights lit up my rearview mirror. I pulled over immediately. As I waited, I reminded myself to stay calm. Hands visible. Window down. Don't make sudden movements. All the things you tell yourself to do when you don't want a situation to turn into something else. The officer approached slowly, shining his flashlight directly into my face. "Where are you coming from tonight?" he asked. "Work," I said. He nodded, but his eyes didn't leave me. He took my license, studied it, then looked back at me again. longer this time. You mind telling me why you're in this neighborhood? That question caught me off guard. I live a few blocks over, I said. He stepped back, radio crackling softly. I heard him give my description, not my name, not my car, my description. That's when my chest tightened. When he returned, his tone had changed. There was a report earlier tonight, he said. Suspicious person, possible break-in. You matched the description. I asked what the description was. He didn't answer. Instead, he asked me to step out of the vehicle. As soon as I did, another patrol car pulled up behind him, then another. 3 officers now stood around me, forming a loose half circle. No one explained what was happening. No one told me what they were looking for. Every question I asked was met with another question. Do you have anything illegal on you? Have you been in this area before tonight? Why are you nervous? I wasn't nervous at first. I became nervous because of the questions. They asked to pat me down. I agreed, knowing refusal would only make things worse. One officer searched my pockets while another kept his hand near his belt, watching my face closely, as if he expected me to run. I didn't. They searched my car next, opened doors, looked under seats, popped the trunk. Every minute felt longer than the last. Cars passed slowly, drivers craning their necks to look. I felt exposed, embarrassed, and angry all at once. I had done nothing wrong. Yet here I was, being treated like I had. Finally, I asked, what exactly is the description? One officer sighed. Male, dark clothing, seen near the area earlier. That was it. No height, no vehicle, no clear details, just enough to justify stopping me. The realization hit hard. I wasn't pulled over because of something I did. I was pulled over because of how I looked, where I was, in the time of night. After nearly an hour, the radio crackled again. The officer listened, nodded, then handed my license back. All right, he said, you're free to go. That was it. No apology, no explanation, no acknowledgement of the hour of my life they had taken. As I got back into my car, my hands were shaking so badly I had to sit there for a moment before starting the engine. My heart was pounding, not from fear anymore, but from the weight of understanding how quickly a normal night can turn into something else entirely. I drove home in silence. I replayed every moment, every question, every look, and I realized something that stuck with me long after that night. Sometimes a police stop isn't about what you did. It's about who someone thinks you might be. These weren't criminals. These weren't movie scenes. They were real people in real police stops where one small detail changed everything. If these stories made you think or made your heart race, hit that like button, subscribe to Story Time, and comment below. Have you ever had a police stop that didn't feel right? Your story might be featured next.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. Until next time, my friends.